Think it's gonna work?
I hope so.
Find out then.
What is going on, everybody? It is your friendly neighborhood fanboys, and today we have a very exciting video for you.
We here at the Friendly Neighborhood Fanboys are going to be doing a spotlight series on some of our favorite content creators, voice actors, and other special guests.
And our first guest to lead off this series, her name is Elle Newlands, and you may know her as Horizon from Apex Legends. She has also been involved in projects like Halo, Doom, World of Warcraft, and Hearthstone.
But before we hop into this video, if you enjoy our content, as always, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, because it really does help us to create more content like this.
And without further ado, Elle Newlands.
How's it going?
Hi. Oh, it's like a panel. I feel like I'm getting a job interview. Oh my God.
Full panel.
Yeah, exactly.
How are you doing today?
I'm very good. Can you guys hear me okay? I don't have a mic. I'm just doing it into my computer.
Perfectly. Can you hear us?
Perfect, yeah.
I can. I feel like I'm getting it. So what am I being interviewed for today? I feel like it's a job.
Well, we just wanted to put on a little spotlight series for all of our fans and subscribers on YouTube, just to give people joy and something to look forward to in these times. And then on top of that, of course, we wanted to highlight each guest's charity of choice to enact further change.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for right off the bat. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, Apex has become my world. It's like I'm living, and breathing Apex Legends right now. So
That's amazing.
Incredible.
Are you playing at all, or are you just?
no, I've been asked that a lot. I'm sorry, I'm turning down my volume, but I don't know. Can you still hear me? Because I just like.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I can't hear you. Duh. Technical issues. I don't play for reasons of I understand that Apex is kind of a difficult game. You can't just pick it up. It's not like Hearthstone or something, So I haven't had the time to put into it, but I'd like to. I think it would be really fun.
Fair enough.
That's awesome.
Would you play as yourself, or?
I think I'd do it just for the ego stroke once. And then I'd be so sick of my stupid Scottish accent. Well, it's not stupid, but to me, I'm like, you hear yourself.
It's amazing, by the way.
Yeah, we love it. Yeah, we love it.
Maybe you should take that part out where I said my stupid
That's amazing.
So basically, let's just start off with how during COVID have you been dealing with working, I guess? Because I know a lot of voice actors either are recording lines at their own home and sending it in, or have you actually had studio time and have went in?
So I have not been in a studio since, I want to say March.
Oh,
But
wow.
I have recorded, I've done 4 different video games. I've done an animated series. I did a commercial, and I did ADR for like a movie.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's not stopping. Like it's, that's like the main kind of staple of work, which, considering I'm at home, is pretty impressive around the whole business that we're managing to do this. I also, for Apex Legends, did season 7 trailer with a head cam.
Oh, wow.
No way.
That's crazy.
In my closet.
That's amazing. Well, it was unreal, by the way. So
It was very good.
Well, their Respawn are just killing it. I mean, they're so good, and their content, just gets better and better. But yeah, I did a closet. I did multiple I basically did the whole Apex Legends season 7 in my closet.
really,
Oh, wow.
no way.
Yes.
Well,
That's
amazing. Yeah, that sounded great.
Good engineer.
So yeah, I've spent the money and kind of, got set up so that I can have that. That was one of the first things when COVID hit. It was like everyone went into a panic, because even though most of us do have broadcast quality equipment, having people ask for broadcast quality equipment, we're like, oh my God, I need to buy more stuff. And I didn't. So yeah, it's crazy.
Awesome. And like being a part of like the Apex community now, and we saw that you were in Halo as well. Like, what's it like being a part of those communities? Like, can you tell us a little bit about that experience?
It's incredible. I mean, I'm part of I'm part of World of Warcraft. So that's like a huge franchise. And I have a number of characters in World of Warcraft. And then I have, I've got a number of characters in Hearthstone. Okay. And then just like some of the AAA titles, I mean, I did, it's hard. It's like, I forget sometimes that, because we usually do our stuff about a year and sometimes 2 years. It's like a year to 2 years in advance. And then we have all these NDAs and we can't talk about it. So by the time a game comes out, it's like, sometimes you're just like, oh, I forgot this was coming out because it's been so long. But with Apex, that was a very fast turnaround because the way they do it is like, you do it in seasons. So I was told, well, we're in season 6 right now, but we're going to be coming out with season 7 in November. So you're going to be recording all of your, characters' content in game and also for the trailers that you've seen. That was like basically the whole of the summer. And I mean, I've been in a number of like large games, but I've never, ever experienced anything like the Apex community ever.
That's awesome.
That's incredible. Yeah.
It's a very, very active community. I mean, there's a lot of game communities that are potentially not, or maybe there are and I'm just not in them. But I think in the community online, I mean, I'm in it because I'm in the game, but like but the thing that makes the Apex community from our side is like the accessibility of the team at Respawn. They're it's like an open door policy. They're very, they're just really, really available to the fans and to the fan community, to the players, to the gamers. And so it's just this amazing, I mean, even just the way that they do it, where I was told, okay, your lore trailer, the Horizon lore trailer is going to drop at 8 a.m. Mm-hmm. And then, sorry, I'm just going to shut my email because I just realized that.
No worries.
I'm like, I didn't need to turn down the volume. Oh my Lord, I'm very so yeah, they were like 9 a.m. your trailer is gonna drop, but we will announce you at noon. So I looked at the trailer, the lore trailer, the one that introduces Horizon, and I think I sat and stared, like I was like shell shocked. I just was like, what? And I instantly sent an email to Alex Ackerman, who is the social media director, I think, for Respawn and for Apex Legends. And I said, please read this out, because I had to write down what I was feeling. I was like, just please let the team know how I just couldn't even believe it. So I was kind of shell shocked between the hours of 9 and noon, and then at noon they announced that it was me, and it was like I'd never in my life seen my Twitter. It just like
That's crazy. That's awesome.
I was like, for about a week my Twitter was just going like this.
That's amazing.
It didn't stop. So that was really cool. And then I also kind of migrated people into Instagram, so it's really great. It's like I have this like amazing feed now of a mixture of like my friends and then the Apex community. So it's really cool. And as for Halo, I mean, that was, sorry, you asked about that. I'm very Scottish. I talk too much.
That's great. Yeah.
Let's give you a really long 10-minute interview.
Yeah.
As for the Halo thing, it was like that. I did motion capture for that for a week.
That's awesome.
And we did it actually at the Jim Henson Studios in LA, which at the time, like they I think they have one sound, like they've turned one of the stages into a motion capture sound. And so we did it there, but it used to be the Charlie Chaplin studio. And that's like the history of that place was, it was built for Charlie Chaplin. And so it's like you walk around and there's all this memorabilia. But what was really awesome about Halo was they take it very seriously. And I was doing the companion piece to the game, which was the Spartan series.
Yeah,
So yeah, we were Fireteam Majestic, and it was such a great series. We were going out to Requiem, and so they actually gave us like a week's worth of weapons training, like legit weapons training.
That's
amazing. I had no idea it went that deep to do motion.
Oh my god. Yeah, and then we spent a day at there's a place called Joining All Movement. It's called Jam. It's here in LA, and it's a big stunt facility. And so we spent a day out there with the stunt team and like practicing, like, do you want to do your own stunts? We think the your stunt person should do this. And, it was like, and they were just sort of like training us for some of the light stunts that we would be doing. I mean, yeah, they take it really seriously at 343.
Yeah, that's incredible.
That must have been so much fun.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was just really, really cool. And I think I was the only female Spartan. So, it's a bit of a sausage fest. Can I say that?
Amazing.
Do you miss that aspect of like the industry, like actually going out to studios and being able to, take weapons training for like motion capture?
Yes, and also motion capture. Like if we had been able to, but because of the time when we did the head cam stuff, they ended up like they were trying to get us like to get the actors together so that we could do the trailer together, but it just SAG, which is our union at the time, just it wasn't doable back then. I really miss it. And I haven't met like anyone at Respawn. Like it's like I did all these sessions over Zoom.
Right.
And so I haven't actually been in a studio and like physically stood in the same space as anyone. So it's kind of funny that way. It's like, I'm wrapped up in a COVID bubble.
I'm sure that'll be nice one day to get in there and meet everyone.
Oh yeah. I mean, I know some of the cast. I mean, I've worked with probably maybe half the cast, like half the voice actor cast. Like I've worked with I know them, or I've worked with them, before. So it wasn't like I came in brand new, but I've obviously met a lot of new people and made a lot of new friends, which is really nice. But yeah, I really miss it. I'm a social person.
We couldn't tell at all.
I know, right? I mean, come on. I mean, you can't get anything out of me. I'm like blood out of a stone. Yeah, my closet's getting real old.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I do have a session coming up in December for a video game that I'm in, and I can't say what it is. Sad face. I really wish I could. But I can say that I had a role in this one, and then they decided to offer, like, they were like, had me try out for something else as well. So now I have a second role in this game, and it's gonna be
wow.
That's awesome. Congrats. That's
Thank you. But I'm actually going to go to the studio for that because
there you go.
Yeah, we're SAG compliant again. I guess like the Screen Actors Guild has made it so that we can actually be like, they've really made it safe for us to come in and out of, like, there's people that are doing motion capture right now, and I guess it's like being on a series.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
That's how they yeah.
So speaking of your other bodies of work, we know that you've done a little bit of stand-up comedy in the past as well. So we were just wondering what some of the differences between like doing studio work or voiceover work and stand-up comedy, and do you kind of have a preference for one or the other?
So what I will say is that, well, they're different beasts, because one, I'm being paid.
Incredible.
Fair enough.
Yeah, for voiceover I get paid. I think I once got paid $15 to do stand-up.
$15.
That was probably my biggest payday in stand-up. Los Angeles stand-up is like the equivalent of being in the trenches in World War I.
Oh, wow.
Are the audiences like vicious or something? Or?
No. The audiences are amazing. It's just a grind. It's like you kind of have to put your time in, and you do what's called bringers. And so, and I don't know how the stand-up world works outside of LA. I've only ever done it here, but you do a lot of bringers at the beginning. And so basically that means you have to bring 5 people, or whatever the arbitrary number is who have to drink from their bar.
Laugh at all your jokes.
Yeah.
We'll come drink.
And if your people don't show up, can I swear, or is this? So if your people don't show up, they shit can you. They're like, sorry, you're not going on stage. So it's like literally you're at the mercy of your friends to show up, and like half the time they're like, oh, sorry, there was traffic, and you're like, fuck you, I can't go on. It's a very. Then you graduate to if you become a producer, if you produce your own show and you start putting other comics on, that's kind of how you get around it. But I mean, sorry, the original question you asked, the difference. I love stand-up. I mean, I love the rush of just getting up on stage and not knowing what the hell's about to happen. I love that. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's a Scottish thing, but I'm just like, and I love getting up there and just soaking in that energy and just going with whatever's put in my place. But I also did a lot of improv training. I studied at UCB, I studied at Groundlings. So I've done like improv. So, I generally tend to be okay in situations where I'm like, okay, what's happening now? Oh, well, whatever, let's just roll with it.
That's amazing.
That's awesome. Going back to then, doing, let's just say, voice lines for Horizon or something, was that fully scripted or did you improv some of that?
No, I mean, they have a fully fleshed script, but they let me bring in a lot of my own Scottish. Awesome. I would run it by them, and I would, Sam Gill is the main, he's the in-game writer, and I would ask Sam, and he's like, yeah, whatever, just bring it on. And so,
awesome.
So there's apparently a holy tome, it's called, with Scottishisms for Horizon. So I'm as the months go on, and I'm collecting things to say for like the next seasons. But I've been told by a number of gamers, they're like, I don't know, half the time I have to turn on the subtitles.
That's amazing.
It's a weird thing to speak English, but to have to be subtitled.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that only happened in Trainspotting before. I don't know.
Fair enough. That's awesome.
So we're not going to keep you too much longer, but would you mind telling us a little bit about the charity you've chosen for today and why it means something to you?
Oh, sure. So it's the Topanga Women's Circle, and they do donation drives, which I think has gotten a little hampered this year with COVID, but they have these regular donation drives where you can take, you can give money, but you can also donate household items. And I think I read the statistic that right now they're filling 8 to 10 apartments a month for people who are low income or homeless, and they're being transitioned into houses or into housing. And so they are furnishing and providing a safe furnished space for people who are transitioning into, a different space and are in need of furniture and home good items. But I believe that they're also helping out with children's school supplies, and they're doing a drive right now up to December 31st where their where they have some very generous benefactors who have said that they will price match. So say I was to donate $25, then someone will match that, so it's going to double it. So it's really,
that's awesome.
Wow. That's a fantastic.
There's a big homeless problem in Los Angeles, and also just with COVID, there's a lot of people who unfortunately their circumstances changed and they lost their homes or they need help. And so that's why I love a charity like this, because it's a community drive to give back, and especially for women and children. They work a lot with women and children so that they can house them safely, which is a very important cause.
Sure. Especially now, it's more important than ever, right?
Of course.
Yeah, and that's like this year, I think that's what I was reading, that this year it's gotten, it's so sad. It's like there's people's circumstances have changed, and they're really in need, because a lot of people have either lost their jobs or they're losing homes. But there's also the darker side to it, where there's domestic violence and people there's women and children that are literally, they're forced out of their situation and into somewhere safe. So that's kind of what their role is they just want to help these people, whoever is in need, whoever gets the places, they're just trying to help them furnish. and offer someone a home.
Yeah, that's absolutely incredible. And we're gonna have the link that you sent me in the description below, and we're also gonna have a lot of on-screen prompts, so all of our viewers can go donate, please.
Great.
It's an absolutely great cause.
Yeah, thanks for that, guys. It's really cool to do this.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Thank you very much.
I mean, going back maybe to a little of something that you may not be able to let us know, but we know you kind of pre-record voice lines for different games. So is there anything maybe you can hint at for Apex that we might be getting in the future, or?
For Apex, no, actually the way that Apex has worked for me, whether I'm assuming it's always the same, is I literally just record what's in the season.
Okay.
So pretty much everything that you're going to hear in game is what I've done. So a large number of my lines, I think Sam said there was 1,400 lines, but
jeez.
Yeah, that gives you an idea of the content. But I think a large number of those lines is actually just my character in game. That's like just her quips. And I'm sure as the seasons go on, they'll add things, but I think that's the majority, that's the body of it. And then the rest of it is everything you've seen, which is the trailers. I haven't done anything that hasn't come out yet.
Okay,
gotcha. Fair enough. That's awesome.
And then they would send someone to rappel in my window and take me out.
We figured that's why we took
Yeah.
Am I safe? I don't know.
Yeah.
I did want to say something about that because it's funny. So being the newest legend right now, it's been like 3 weeks since season 7 dropped. And I swear the first week I was so scared, and it's sad because I was getting a lot of interviews and I was so scared because I was so scared I was going to let something, I was going to say something that I wasn't supposed to.
You're not supposed to.
And so I all my interview, my first one with Chris Edgerly, who's Pathfinder, I did one with Chris the night that the game dropped. And I think for a lot of it, I could see myself, I was like this.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I just was like, what? And he's asking me questions. I must have been I don't know. I remember in my head going, can I answer that? Can I answer that? I don't know. Can I answer that?
Yeah.
That's the responsibility. It's a big responsibility.
A fun one though, I'm sure.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, now it's been 3 weeks. I'm like,
It's
it's been 3 weeks. Come on.
And just quickly before you go as well, I was just wondering too, off the top of your head, do you have any funny or memorable moments that you can maybe recall that have either impacted you or you can kind of positively look back on throughout your career?
Oh, wow. Funny moments? Well, a lot of those funny moments happened recording Apex Legends in my closet.
I can imagine.
I remember the day that we were doing the season 7 trailer. So the way it worked was they sent the equipment out, but obviously there's no techs in my house. So I received the equipment and then I did a half a day with Robbie, he's basically the mocap guy in LA and all over. And so I did this half a day with Robbie where he was basically teaching me how to run my own mocap session, all the equipment. Yeah, it was. And so I was I couldn't sleep, I was oh, and I woke up the next morning and I was supposed to have the dots, the dots that you see on the faces. Yeah. And I showed up and I went, fuck, I don't have the dots on. And I'm sweating and I'm trying to rub all this because I'm in the closet with all this gear on. I'm trying to put these dots on and they were so nice. They were like, don't worry about it, Elle, don't worry about it. And I'm panicking. And then I think, and I was doing, so the way I record is I'm in my closet, so I can't put my laptop in there because it has a fan. Okay. So I have my laptop outside, and then I have a monitor, and then I have my phone in there running Zoom. And I think if I dropped my phone 4 times, I dropped my phone 24 times. And it was this was a joke. I did an interview with Retrospect, and this was my joke. This was me. It's hey guys. Again. And my dog was barking, so Yep, that's my dog. So yeah, we get it. Thanks. I'm stealing my thunder.
That's incredible.
That's awesome.
God, she's such a scene stealer, my dog.
Where'd you learn that from? No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. But anyway, so that was probably the funniest. I mean, I'm sure there's others. Oh yeah, and in the Halo training, at one point, I'll never forget this. They wouldn't let me forget this. At one point, I was like, "Oh no, I can do that. I can do that myself." And then I tried to do something, and I was like, "Ah!" Oh, I'm like, and that was the end of that. I was like, that was the end of my stunt career. I was like, all of 2 minutes. So
Haven't let you live it down, eh?
Yeah. Well, that's absolutely incredible. And we're going to let you go now because we blew way past our promised 10 minutes.
Sorry about that.
that's me. That's me.
But we just want to say thank you so very much again for doing this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
we
you.
look forward
Thanks,
to
guys.
you and absolutely everything that you have to come.
Awesome. Thanks so much. And maybe you'll have me back and I can tell you about other things that I'm doing.
100%.
That'd be amazing.
We'd love to.
When I don't have people rappelling through my windows.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that'd be awesome.
It was fun.
See you later.
Thank you.
Thank
See you
so
later.
much.
Take care. Take care.
Thanks.
That was absolutely incredible. I don't know about you guys, but I had a blast doing that. Thank you so much, Elle. Again, it really does mean the world to us. And thank you to all of our subscribers who frankly made this happen. We can't do all the things we do without all of you. So again, if you're new to the channel, please hit that like button on this video and subscribe if you want to see more content and more interviews like this. And as Elle was explaining in our interview, if you could please donate anything you can scrounge up, anything helps to the TOPANGA Women's Circle. It is a great cause. You can check it out at the link in our description below. Any donations would be greatly appreciated. And we will see you on the next video.